What's up, A1 Trading Squad? It's been a little minute since I've done one of these, and I've realized that I've been slipping, but I've also been diving into the options world. I haven't been diving in, but I've been getting like more experience with it, and maybe I'll share that in the future. I'll have to talk to Nick about that. But anyway, I've been slipping on doing these stocks of the week, but today I was like, you know what? I gotta make one because I need to update y'all on what's been happening. Now this week, as y'all know, today at the time of watching this, or actually a little bit later, if you catch this video early on, Jerome Powell is set to speak today on inflation rates, interest rates, and more regarding the U.S. economic economy. So we're going to see what's going to happen. Obviously, we're going to have some volatility get involved here. It's just inevitable when he speaks. So we're going to see what's going to happen at that meeting because it's going to be interesting. But other than that, this week we had a lot of earnings. We had earnings for UPS, Shopify, for Tesla, for Google, and other like tech giants such as that, right? So with all these tech earnings going on, it absolutely lets you see where these companies are going in the future and how did they do in Q2, right? So today I was actually doing a little bit of research, and now this may come as a shock, but I was looking at Ford. I was seeing about getting involved with Ford. And I say that's a shock because let me just pull it up here on the screen so you can check it out. Let's bring the mic over here real quick. If you look at Ford, right? All right, let's just look at it over the last 5 years. Okay, it is down $1.14 or 8.43% over the last 5 years. Is that good? No. Okay, that's not good. But interesting enough, over the past year, they went up $6.96, which was 126%, which is insane. If we go to 3 months, they're up $1.61, and that is 14%. We go to 1 month, they're up 13 cents, which is 1%. 1 week has been 39 cents, and they've went up about 3% this past week, and today they're just down 4 cents. Okay, so why am I picking out Ford? Out of all the stocks here, why am I picking them out for the stock of the week? Well, Ford is also reporting earnings this, actually not this week, but today, I do believe. But more so, I've came across this article about Ford building a $185 million EV battery research center. Now, I want to go over this a little bit because Ford has been talking about getting into the EV game a lot. And a big player like Ford doing that tells me a couple things. Number one, it tells me they're not as old-fashioned as we think. When you think about Ford Motor Company, you think about very old-fashioned. There's a lot of Fords, obviously. It's probably one of the most, if not the most popular, American car that everyone drives, correct? But them getting into the EV space tells me they're not thinking about the old traditional way of vehicles anymore. They're actually looking towards the future because whether you like it or not, EV is going to play a huge part in our future, okay? Of course, you can still play oil and gas because now coming off of the pandemic, obviously the demand of oil and gas is back. People want to travel. They have cabin fever. They just want to get out. So obviously gas and oil is going to go back up so you can play, those companies as well. But because of Ford's interest and putting money where their mouth is about the EV sector, it is really giving them a boost from what I can see. So with that being said, the article just basically breaks down the new Ford Ion Park will be based in the Detroit metro area with an opening scheduled for later this year. According to the automaker, the facility will have a 150-person workforce focused on the development and manufacturing of battery cells and batteries. So that means they're already making they're already about to be in the process of making battery cells and batteries in general for their vehicles. Now, this is interesting because you know how we always talk about, you can't get another Tesla, right?
Elon Musk absolutely killed it when it came to, in my opinion, making something that is ridiculous, but also cool. Because if you're thinking about an electric vehicle, you're either thinking about a Tesla or you're thinking about, I don't know, maybe a Neo, but you're not really thinking about, in my opinion, like other electric vehicles from like Porsche or from Mercedes or from BMW. Some people out there will, but I'm just talking like majority, right? We're usually thinking about a Tesla because it's super unique. So I'm saying with Ford, since they're one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world, and obviously they have the means to be able to produce many cars, and in my opinion, like, I wouldn't really worry about deliveries with Ford. With Tesla, it was a lot of the times it was like, well, can they deliver that many cars? Do they have the manufacturers in place to be able to pull this off? Because they're growing so rapidly, and with growing, you automatically know, like, as a business, there are going to be growing pains. Those were the growing pains that they tried to talk about with Tesla. I don't know if y'all remember, but a lot of that was going on about, oh, can they actually keep up with the demand? Obviously, they can. Yesterday or on Monday, they reported earnings. They absolutely crushed it. They absolutely crushed it, and they went above already the deliveries that they made in the last quarter. So obviously, there's some steadily growth there. But anyway, getting back to Ford, I say that because since they are one of the largest car manufacturers, in my opinion, I'm not going to worry about deliveries with them. I'm not going to worry about, can they make enough electric vehicles to keep up with the demand. What I am going to worry about, though, is can they make their electric vehicles cool enough and just like unique enough to compete with somebody like Tesla, to compete with somebody like Porsche or Mercedes or BMW, etc. Because we all know that Ford, obviously, like I said, they're one of the oldest car manufacturers ever. Okay? So I'm just going to be looking for, like, can they absolutely compete with these companies and make cool electric cars that are also affordable? Okay. So anyway, why did this happen, right? Why does Ford plan to build a $185 million EV battery research center? Well, the company, which can trace its involvement in electric vehicles and battery research back to founder Henry Ford and its collaborative work with Thomas Edison, he's announced an investment commitment of at least $22 billion over the next 4 years to expand on its EV output. Ford currently offers the Ford Mustang Mach-E and plans to roll out the all-electric Ford Transit later this year, and an all-electric F-150 arrives by mid-2022. In Europe, Ford is aiming for an all-electric lineup by 2030, and the company allocated $1 billion in a new electric vehicle manufacturing center in Cologne, Germany, with production on all-electric passenger vehicles set to begin in 2023. The Mustang Mach-E is also being readied for production and sell in China later this year. So that tells you right there from what I just read, they are going like all in on the electric vehicle wave. And when a big company like Ford does that, it's a good sign. And I think that's going to cause them to obviously like sell more, not only from the obviously like their gas vehicles, but also on electricity. So they're boosting the stock over 1 year, in my opinion, is because of them getting more involved into the electric sector. So I do believe in a lot of ways they are a sleeping giant. Now, obviously, I like to look at companies' balance sheet and like to see, how much debt that they owe. I know Ford is more of a debt company, just so y'all know. But hey, I'm looking at this play. If you're interested and if this has been news to you, I'm just looking to play Ford for like a year, okay? Now, obviously, they're not as like volatile as Tesla or Neo or Xpeng or other electric vehicle companies. But listen, if you were to put your money into Ford in 2019, right? Like, let's just say you put in 1,000 and it's went up 127% over the past year. So in 2020, it went up $6.98, correct? Or actually from 2020 to 2021, at the time of, if you're watching this in April, they went up $6.98. So excuse me. If you put your money in Ford in 2020, let's say you put it in April, around this time, and you just let it sit there, you literally would have profited 100%. Your money would have more than doubled by just leaving it in Ford from 2020 to right now at the time of watching this, or, you know, whenever you may be watching this. So that's pretty insane to me. It tells me that they're getting with the times. And that's what I want to see with companies, right? That's ultimately what I'm looking for. Now, if a big company can get with the times, it's going to be dangerous, obviously, to, you know, many people that may be ahead of them, such as Tesla. Now, am I saying they're going to be the next Tesla? No. But I'm just saying, at least they're coming into the market and now saying, oh, we have to get with electric vehicles, because that's where so many consumers are putting their money right now, because, you know, electric vehicles is obviously better for the environment, but also more so, Tesla is just a unique, cool car that, you know, no one had seen, right? So because of that, Tesla has opened this up for bigger companies to get involved and to put their twist on it. So it's a brilliant move by Ford. It's very smart. It's a way for them to have more money streams, right, to diversify their cash flow. So I absolutely love it. And this is why I'm saying that right now, I believe we need to be on the lookout for Ford, because like I said, over the past year, up 100%, up $7. So literally Ford was only $5, right? Approximately $5, like in 2020 of April. So I don't know where it's going to go over, you know, obviously for 2022, but hey, if they're not donating, but if they're allocating that much money to get involved into the game of electricity, I think we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to also how are their sales doing with that electric Mustang and obviously other electric vehicles that, you know, they're going to be rolling out. But if there's a steady increase, because people love Mustangs here in America, you know, if you're here, people love muscle cars. Okay, now if you can wrap that in a way as to where it's electric, and maybe you can do that for more, you know, normal vehicles, I'll say, not like muscle cars, but just like very standard. Hey, there's an argument here, because then they're catering to different, you know, customers who may be, you know, one may be more financially sound than the other. That's okay. But their vehicles, as long as it can fit to different customers' needs, that's more money for Ford. So anyway, to wrap this up, you know, I know that was probably a lot of information. I think we absolutely cannot sleep on Ford and what they're doing right now to get involved into the electricity game. I think we need to pay attention to that. And, you know, hey, if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe. And just let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel about Ford Motor Company? Is it a waste of time? Is it because, you know, they're an older company? Do you like my analysis of where this could be headed? Will you be investing in it for maybe 1 year just to see where it leads? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you disagree, that's fine too. We can talk about it. That's the beauty about, you know, getting into stocks and just in general. Like, we can have that discussion so you can learn something from me and I can learn something from you. And also, if you haven't already, you can join the A1 Trading Community Discord, where we talk about stocks, where we talk about, you know, what's going on in the markets when it comes to, yeah, generally it's stocks, but also we have one for Forex. But if you want to generally learn about more about stocks and the portfolio of the admins there and what we're looking for, from a long perspective and a short perspective. Oh, by the way, just to go into depth about that, we do play the market both in a short term, but we are more long term. But anyway, if that interests you, please be sure to join. The link is in the description. It's really budget friendly, and I think you all will really love it if you check it out. And yeah, that's all I have for you all. So again, let me know what you think about Ford Motor Company, and I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all. All right, peace.